Gentlemen, if you're over 60, chances are you've been told that vitamins are like little insurance policies for your health. One pill for your bones, one for your memory, maybe another for your energy. It sounds simple enough, right? But here's something that surprises a lot of people at this stage of life. Some of the very supplements you've been faithfully taking could actually be making you feel worse, not better. I'm Dr. Lauren Tate, and I want to walk you through something that most people don't realize until it's too late. As we get older, our bodies don't handle vitamins and minerals the same way they did when we were younger. The liver doesn't filter as efficiently, the kidneys aren't flushing things out quite as quickly, and our blood vessels and nerves are simply more fragile. That means a supplement that might have been helpful in your 40s can actually turn into a health hazard in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. In this guide, I'm going to reveal the 4 vitamins you should avoid after 60, because instead of protecting you, they can quietly chip away at your health. But don't worry, we'll also cover the 4 nutrients you absolutely should be taking if you want to keep your mind sharp, your muscles strong, and your heart steady well into your later years. And here's something especially powerful. One of these must-take nutrients has been linked to a 36% lower risk of death from all causes. That's not just hype, that's hard clinical evidence. So stick with me, because by the end, you'll know exactly which pills are worth keeping on your shelf and which ones are silently dragging you down. Let's start with a supplement that most people assume is safe and even necessary, but after 60, it can become a real problem. Worst vitamin, number 4, vitamin A, retinol form. Vitamin A has long been considered a supervitamin. Doctors often recommend it for eye health, for skin, and for immune function. And yes, it can do all of those things, but only in the right form and only in the right amount. Here's the catch. After 60, too much vitamin A in the retinol form, the type found in many multivitamins and supplements, doesn't just pass harmlessly through your system. It builds up. That's because vitamin A is fat-soluble, unlike water-soluble vitamins such as C or B complex, which flush out easily in urine. Fat-soluble vitamins are stored in your liver and fatty tissues. Over time, as your metabolism slows and your liver processes nutrients less efficiently, that extra vitamin A starts to accumulate, drop by drop, like filling a glass until it spills over. At first, the effects are subtle: dry skin, brittle nails, dizziness or blurred vision, maybe some stiffness in your joints or constant fatigue. A lot of seniors mistake these for just getting older, but in reality, they can be signs of vitamin A toxicity. And the danger goes further. A study published in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults with high levels of stored vitamin A had a significantly higher risk of atrial fibrillation, a type of irregular heartbeat that can dramatically raise the odds of stroke. In other words, the same supplement you thought was protecting your eyes could be stressing your heart. So how much is too much? For women over 60, more than 700 micrograms per day in retinol form is considered excessive. For men, the upper safe limit is about 900 micrograms. Unfortunately, many multivitamins aimed at seniors include doses above these thresholds without warning you of the risk. But here's the good news. Your body still needs vitamin A, it just needs it in the right form. That form is called beta-carotene, the natural precursor found in foods like carrots, sweet potatoes, spinach, and even eggs. Unlike synthetic retinol, beta-carotene is self-regulating. Your body converts it into active vitamin A only when it needs to. That means there's no risk of overdose. Think of beta-carotene like a smart fuel pump. It only delivers gas when the tank is running low. So, what's the takeaway? If you're over 60, check your supplement labels. If you see retinol or retinol palmitate, it's time to reconsider. You'll get plenty of safe vitamin A by emphasizing colorful vegetables and other whole foods in your diet. Your body knows how to use them without storing up dangerous excess. The bottom line is this: vitamin A is not your enemy, but the synthetic retinol version is simply too risky after 60. Food-based sources are the safe path forward, and your body will thank you for the switch. Worst vitamin number 3, iron supplements, the energy booster that backfires after 60. For decades, iron has been marketed as the magic cure for fatigue. If you feel tired, the message was simple: take an iron pill and you'll get your spark back. And when we were younger, there was some truth to that. Women lost iron regularly through menstruation, men burned more through higher levels of physical activity, and in some cases, supplementation really did help. But once you're past 60, the story changes completely. Men stop losing iron after puberty, and women stop after menopause. Unless you've had major blood loss from something like surgery, ulcers, or a diagnosed medical condition, your body usually has more than enough iron. Adding extra iron on top of that doesn't vanish harmlessly. It accumulates in your organs, especially the liver, heart, and pancreas. Imagine leaving metal out in the rain. Over time, rust slowly eats away at it. That's what excess iron does inside your body. It creates oxidative stress, a process where unstable molecules damage healthy tissues. And this doesn't just make you age faster, it increases your risk of serious conditions like liver disease, heart problems, and even certain cancers. The brain isn't spared either. A study published in Alzheimer's Research and Therapy linked high iron levels to a greater risk of cognitive decline and dementia. So while you may have started taking iron to feel more energetic, the irony is that too much can actually sap your memory, stiffen your joints, and leave you feeling more tired than before. The tricky part is that iron overload often hides in plain sight. The symptoms, joint pain, brain fog, irregular heartbeats, constant fatigue, can easily be written off as just aging. But in reality, they may be warning signs that your body is drowning in iron. So what's the solution? First, check your supplements. If your multivitamin includes iron and you haven't been diagnosed with a deficiency, it's time to switch to an iron-free version designed for older adults. Second, talk to your doctor about a ferritin or transferrin saturation test. These simple blood tests can show whether your iron levels are too high. And finally, let your diet do the heavy lifting. Lean meats, beans, and leafy greens provide plenty of iron naturally without pushing you into overload. The lesson here is clear. Iron is essential when you're young, but past 60, it can quietly backfire. Real energy at this stage of life doesn't come from piling on iron pills. It comes from reducing inflammation, protecting your organs, and giving your body only what it truly needs. Worst vitamin number 2, calcium supplements, the bone protector that can harm your heart. If there's one message seniors have heard endlessly, it's this: take calcium for strong bones. It's been in commercials and doctors' offices and in almost every supplement aisle for decades. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Calcium supplements on their own often do more harm than good after 60. Here's why. When you're younger, your bones act like sponges, soaking up calcium with ease. Hormones direct where it needs to go, and most of it ends up exactly where it belongs, your skeleton. But past 60, that process slows dramatically. Your bones don't absorb calcium as efficiently, which means a lot of the calcium you swallow doesn't go into your bones at all. Instead, it travels into your arteries, your joints, and even your kidneys. This misplaced calcium can harden blood vessels, stiffen joints, and form painful kidney stones. A review published in the Journal of the American Heart Association found that older adults taking calcium supplements had a 22% higher risk of heart disease. So while many people believe they're strengthening their bones, they may actually be weakening their heart in the process. Early signs of calcium overload can look harmless: digestive problems like bloating or constipation, joint aches or fatigue. But over time, the risks get serious: calcified arteries, higher stroke risk, blocked nutrient absorption, and recurrent kidney stones. And here's the cruel irony: your bones often don't get stronger at all because the calcium is being misdirected. So why does this happen? The missing piece is that calcium doesn't work alone. It needs partners to guide it to the right places. Vitamin D3 helps you absorb it into the bloodstream. Vitamin K2 tells your body to send it into bones instead of arteries. Magnesium helps balance it so it doesn't harden soft tissues. Without these companions, a plain calcium pill has no roadmap, and the mineral ends up where it shouldn't. The smarter approach is to let food be your foundation. Leafy greens, sardines with bones, yogurt, almonds, and chia seeds provide calcium in a form your body recognizes. If you do need a supplement, make sure it's paired with D3, K2, and magnesium. And remember, weight-bearing exercise is just as critical as calcium for keeping bones dense and strong. The bottom line is, calcium is vital, but taking it the wrong way can actually accelerate aging instead of slowing it down. Real bone health isn't about swallowing handfuls of pills. It's about balance, movement, and making sure the nutrients you take actually go where they needed most. Worst vitamin number 1, Vitamin B6, the nerve helper that can turn against you. Vitamin B6 has a glowing reputation. It's often recommended for energy, brain function, and even mood support. For younger adults, those claims aren't entirely wrong. B6 does help your body make neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, which regulate mood, and it plays a role in red blood cell production. But here's the twist. While B6 is vital in small amounts, in larger doses, it can actually damage the very nerves it's supposed to protect. This risk is particularly important after 60. As we age, our nerve tissue becomes more fragile. The protective coating around nerves, called the myelin sheath, wears down more easily. High doses of B6, often found in supervitamin formulas or energy supplements, can accelerate that damage. Instead of helping your nervous system, too much B6 can trigger symptoms like tingling in the feet, burning sensations in the hands, or numbness that seems to spread without warning. In fact, research published in the journal Neurology has linked long-term high-dose B6 supplementation to peripheral neuropathy, a painful, sometimes irreversible condition where the nerves misfire and send constant burning or stinging signals to the brain. And here's the kicker. The people most at risk are older adults because their bodies clear excess B6 less efficiently. So what counts as too much? The official upper safe limit for adults is 100 milligrams per day. But here's where people get tripped up. Many supplements marketed for brain support or energy contain 50 to 150 milligrams per serving. If you're also taking a multivitamin plus fortified foods like cereals or shakes, you can end up unknowingly crossing this safe limit every single day. The result? Instead of improving memory or mood, you could be damaging your nerve endings and making balance issues or neuropathy worse. And those are problems no one needs in their 60s or 70s, when falls and mobility already pose enough of a challenge. The takeaway is simple. B6 is important, but only in small, food-based amounts. You'll get plenty from chicken, fish, bananas, and chickpeas. Unless a doctor has specifically diagnosed a deficiency, there's no reason to add a high-dose B6 pill into the mix, especially not after 60. So, now you've heard the 4 big culprits: vitamin A in retinol form, iron supplements, excess calcium, and high-dose B6. These are the nutrients that can backfire badly in older adults, turning what's supposed to be a boost into a hidden burden. But here's the encouraging part. Avoiding the wrong supplements is only half the story. The real power comes when you add in the right ones, nutrients that have been proven to protect memory, support circulation, ease inflammation, and literally extend lifespan. Let's flip the conversation and focus on what actually helps you thrive after 60. Because the truth is, your body has very different needs in this stage of life. Hormones shift, muscle mass declines, bones lose density, and the immune system weakens. But that doesn't mean decline is inevitable. It just means you need to be smarter and more targeted with the nutrients you choose. Over the next sections, I'll share the 4 supplements I strongly recommend for people over 60. These aren't trendy gimmicks or miracle cures. They're supported by solid research with clear benefits for aging bodies and brains. And remember that statistic I mentioned earlier? One of these nutrients is linked to a 36% reduction in all-cause mortality. That means fewer heart problems, fewer strokes, fewer cancers, and even fewer respiratory illnesses. So let's get into it. We'll start with a mineral most people overlook, even though it influences more than 300 processes in the body, and yet more than half of seniors don't get enough of it. Best vitamin, number 4, magnesium, the master mineral for calm, sleep, and circulation. If I had to choose one mineral that almost everyone over 60 should pay more attention to, it would be magnesium. It's involved in over 300 biochemical reactions in your body, touching everything from muscle function to blood sugar control to nerve communication. Yet surveys show that nearly 70% of adults over 60 don't get enough. The reason is simple. Our diets have changed. Modern farming strips soil of magnesium, processed foods are nearly devoid of it, and as we age, our digestive systems absorb it less efficiently. The result? A quiet deficiency that can show up as muscle cramps, restless legs, insomnia, anxiety, high blood pressure, or even irregular heartbeats. One of the most overlooked roles of magnesium is in the cardiovascular system. This mineral helps relax the smooth muscles around blood vessels, allowing them to dilate and improve circulation. For older adults, that means less strain on the heart and lower risk of hypertension. A large review in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people with higher magnesium intake had a significantly lower risk of both stroke and heart failure. And then there's sleep. Magnesium plays a starring role in calming the nervous system by regulating GABA, a neurotransmitter that quiets brain activity. Without enough magnesium, your brain can stay on at night, making it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep. Restoring your levels often leads to deeper, more refreshing rest, something most people desperately need after 60. So how do you get it? The best food sources include leafy greens, pumpkin seeds, almonds, avocados, and dark chocolate. But for many older adults, supplements are the easiest way to hit the target of 320 to 420 milligrams per day. Not all forms are equal, though. Magnesium citrate and magnesium glycinate are absorbed much better than magnesium oxide, which often just causes stomach upset without raising your levels. When taken consistently, magnesium can ease tension, stabilize mood, support your heart, and improve the quality of your sleep. It's a quiet workhorse that often goes unnoticed, but when it's missing, the body quickly reminds you. Best vitamin number 3, vitamin D3, the sunshine vitamin that shields bones, muscles, and immunity. If magnesium is the unsung hero, vitamin D3 is the superstar nutrient of aging well. It's called the sunshine vitamin because your skin naturally produces it when exposed to sunlight. But here's the problem. After age 60, your skin becomes far less efficient at making vitamin D. Add in sunscreen use, less time outdoors, and weaker absorption in the gut, and deficiency becomes almost guaranteed. Why does this matter? Because vitamin D3 isn't just about bones, it's about nearly every major system in your body. Research has shown that adequate D3 lowers the risk of fractures by helping your bones absorb calcium properly. It boosts muscle strength, reducing the chances of falls. It sharpens immune function, helping the body fight off infections. And it even appears to protect against certain cancers, type 2 diabetes, and depression. The numbers are striking. A large study published in the British Medical Journal found that older adults who maintained healthy vitamin D levels had a 30% lower risk of premature death compared to those who were deficient. That's not a small difference. That's life-changing. Symptoms of deficiency are often subtle. Low energy, frequent colds, back pain, or feeling blue without clear reason. Many people dismiss these as normal aging, but in reality, they're often the body waving a red flag that it's starving for D3. So how much should you take? For adults over 60, most experts recommend at least 1,000 to 2,000 IUs per day, though some people may need more if their blood levels are low. The only way to know for sure is a simple blood test called 25-hydroxyvitamin D. Ideally, your level should sit between 40 and 60 ng/m for optimal protection. Food sources like fatty fish, fortified dairy, and egg yolks can help, but realistically, supplements are the only way most older adults hit the target. And remember, pairing vitamin D3 with magnesium and K2 ensures it's absorbed properly and sent to the bones instead of soft tissues. Think of D3 as your body's internal light switch. Without it, everything runs dim. Bones weaken, immunity falters, mood slips, and strength fades. With it, the whole system brightens, resilience improves, and aging slows. Best vitamin number 2, vitamin B12, the spark plug for energy and memory. If you've ever felt like your energy just isn't what it used to be, even when you're eating well and sleeping enough, vitamin B12 might be the missing piece. Vitamin B12 is like the spark plug of your body. It helps turn food into usable energy, supports the production of red blood cells, and protects the nervous system. Without it, your whole system sputters. Here's the challenge. As we age, our stomachs produce less stomach acid, which is necessary to absorb B12 from food. That means even if you're eating eggs, fish, or lean meats, the best sources of B12, you might not actually be absorbing enough of it. In fact, studies estimate that up to 1 in 3 adults over 60 are deficient, often without knowing it. The symptoms can sneak up on you. Persistent fatigue, memory lapses, mood swings, or tingling in the hands and feet are all classic signs of low B12. Left unchecked, deficiency can contribute to anemia, nerve damage, and even cognitive decline. The good news is that B12 supplementation is safe and highly effective. For most older adults, a daily dose of 500 milligrams to 1,000 micrograms of methylcobalamin or cyanocobalamin works well. In some cases, doctors may recommend injections if absorption is severely impaired. The bottom line is this: keeping your B12 levels healthy is like keeping your brain and body's electrical system fully charged. It keeps your energy steady, your memory sharper, and your nerves resilient. Things that matter enormously when you're navigating life after 60. Best vitamin number 1, omega-3 fatty acids, the longevity nutrient. Now we've come to the number 1 supplement I recommend after 60, omega-3 fatty acids. These healthy fats found in fish oil, algae oil, and certain seeds are game changers for aging bodies and brains. Omega-3s reduce inflammation throughout the body, which is crucial because chronic inflammation is at the root of so many age-related conditions: heart disease, arthritis, dementia, and even certain cancers. They also keep your blood flowing smoothly by lowering triglycerides and preventing clots, which protects you against heart attack and stroke. But perhaps the most exciting benefit is what omega-3s do for the brain. Research from the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease found that older adults with higher omega-3 levels had better memory performance and slower rates of cognitive decline. In other words, these fats help keep your mind sharp and your recall strong well into your later years. And here's the statistic I mentioned earlier. A large meta-analysis in the Journal of Clinical Lipidology showed that people with adequate omega-3 intake had up to a 36% lower risk of death from all causes. That means fewer heart problems, fewer strokes, fewer fatal infections, and overall greater resilience. So, how much do you need? Most experts recommend at least 1,000 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA daily. If you eat fatty fish like salmon, sardines, or mackerel several times a week, you may already be getting close. If not, a high-quality fish oil or algae-based supplement is a reliable way to meet your needs. For best results, look for a product that lists EPA and DHA content clearly on the label. Many cheaper oils contain filler fats that don't deliver the same benefits. And for those worried about digestion, taking it with food often minimizes any fishy aftertaste. When you add omega-3s into your routine, you're not just protecting your heart, you're investing in a clearer mind, calmer joints, smoother circulation, and a longer, healthier life. Conclusion. So let's recap. We started by looking at the 4 supplements to avoid after 60: retinol-based vitamin A, iron, standalone calcium, and high-dose B6. These are the ones that often backfire, causing more harm than good when your body is less efficient at processing excess nutrients. Then we shift gears to the 4 must-take nutrients for healthy aging: magnesium for circulation and calm, vitamin D3 for bones and immunity, vitamin B12 for energy and memory, and omega-3s for heart, brain, and longevity. When you step back and look at the big picture, the message is clear. Aging well isn't about piling on every supplement you see advertised. It's about being strategic, choosing nutrients that your body truly needs at this stage and avoiding the ones that put unnecessary strain on your system. The right supplements won't stop aging, but they will help you age on your own terms. With stronger bones, a clearer mind, steadier energy, and a healthier heart, you can keep doing the things you love well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. And remember, supplements are just one piece of the puzzle. Pair them with whole foods, regular movement, good sleep, and meaningful social connections, and you'll give yourself the best shot at not just living longer, but living better. I'm Dr. Lauren Tate, And I hope this guide has helped you rethink your supplement routine, because the choices you make today are the foundation of the life you will enjoy tomorrow.